Chris Will Deal With It focuses on bridging the gap between where you're at now and where you'd like to be. We'll explore wisdom and techniques from a wide variety of domains and industries and apply them to your unique challenges. I love developing frameworks, processes, and storytelling metaphors that enable personal and business growth. Through actionable next steps, we'll build momentum and confidence. My goal is to help you clear roadblocks, do more with what you have, and realize the potential of yourself and your team. So throw your challenges my way, and Chris will deal with it. First, an AI statement that all elements of this episode are products of the author, Chris Kreuter, and made without the use of any AI tools. This is part 3 of our Summer Principles series. This episode can be listened to by itself, but for greater context, refer back to the intro episode number 32. Note that the principles in this series are what work for me. They allow me to thrive and live my values as best as I can. I'm not advocating the adoption of my specific set of principles. Rather, I'm attempting to showcase the power of principles by providing more context on how they can be defined, codified, and embedded into the thoughts and actions of our lives. So let's dig into principle number 3, relentlessly seek knowledge. Where does this principle come from? The growth of our knowledge is crucial to becoming an increasingly self-realized, effective member of society. The principle reflects the desire to be more useful, able to improve the returns on all the resources required for our existence up to the current moment. Adding the word relentless was important to me because it signals the wish to never grow stagnant, not to allow a mentality to evolve where I know everything I need to know. There are always new angles to known phenomenon, new ideas to be evaluated, new connections between concepts to be explored. Why is it important? So speaking of exploring, seeking knowledge is an adventure, a journey that should last a lifetime, regardless of the directions traveled or destinations visited. Gaining knowledge comes in many forms. They can be books, fiction and nonfiction, courses, lived experiences, repeated practice, reflection, mentorship, and a lot more. And knowledge isn't just intellectual. There's also physical, tactile, emotional, and spiritual elements to knowledge that need to be factored in. How does living this principle impact myself and others? The impact of knowledge is allowing actions that have a greater impact on others' lives. This, in turn, can bring more meaning to our own life. The gaining of knowledge can also take the form of failures. It's critical for us to get feedback on our impact from others so we can grow in different directions. And sharing our knowledge helps others extend their capacity to accomplish more, while also being a great way to help ourselves better understand the material being taught. Knowledge of the internal self is as important as the world outside. There's value to learning how our engine works, just as there's value to improving our knowledge of the roads and environments through which we have to drive. And what does living this principle look like in action? This principle is focused on knowledge, not just the amassing of data. Knowledge demands discernment, a true understanding of the information. This means putting it into practice, attempting to use it, experimenting, deciding on the usefulness of the knowledge. This principle lends itself to a mindset of maintaining curiosity, asking questions, being inquisitive, taking notes. I actually talked about idea capture systems back in the very first episode, and again, it's something I feel is critical to synthesizing all the various kinds of knowledge we gain. And a good idea capture system also helps you leverage the knowledge in greater ways, especially if it has a good search feature. Lastly, this principle helps us stay open to outside ideas, a concept which is going to lead us into principle number 4, everyone has something to teach. Sadly, I don't know the source of the quote for today's episode, so I can't give credit, but it's a great reminder to share our knowledge with the world. Knowledge is something you can give away and never lose. With that, have a great day. If you feel that Chris dealt with it, I'd appreciate your support of the show by sharing it with someone who might benefit. Ratings on your favorite podcast player are also helpful in growing the audience. Visit chriskreuter.com for free downloadable PDFs with notes and resources from today's episode, sign up for the CDWI mailing list, or to send in your problems or requests for future shows. That's chriskreuter.com, or use the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening to Chris Will Deal With It.